coolie, I am coolie. I am coolie, I am coolie. If you like games, illustrations, lots of fun, new creations, this is a place for you.
Hello, folks. We're having crazy weather today. It's like crazy windy. We had wind warnings earlier this week for like 65 mile per hour winds. And now it's like, it arrived a few days late and it's crazy windy. So on Wednesday, I had 3 aquariums going over here. But for whatever reason, the GoPro is acting up. It might be, I don't know, if my internet cuts out, it might be because of the bad weather we're having. We're supposed to go camping tomorrow, so I'm hoping this wind will be done with by then. Speaking of camping, I am working on a schnitzel scribble that I started on Wednesday. And the story that I'm putting together, it's a children's book idea, and the illustrations here are about a camping trip my family goes on with our dog Schnitzel. So anyway, this is going to be a pretty short stream. I've had a late start today. Lots of technical difficulties, first with the mic, also with the fish stream that you see over there. That is our family's aquarium stream. I'm the one that's always in the chat, but the aquariums and the camera work are that of my family, as well as me loving aquariums. So anyway, the top one is our frog tank that is on the channel that I just pointed out. But the frogs aren't really out much today. They might be out later. We gave them bloodworms last night. They are largely nocturnal. So about 8 o'clock we gave them their bloodworms. They were pretty excited about that. We did capture that on stream last night. I tried to keep the stream on a little later. But as a result of that feeding, they have not really been out much today. I don't think they're as hungry as they were. Their bellies looked pretty full last night. That being said, the shrimp and of course the fish are out and about as usual. The shrimp have had some food. Some of the fish got after it too. The shrimp tank below is the one that's sitting on my desk. And I don't think I've given them their food today, so I could jump up and give them a little food. That would probably make them happy. You can see that we have all sizes in there because they've been reproducing. So we have some large adults all the way down to teeny tiny ones you could barely see. Let me get their food for them. But anyway, as a result of general technical difficulties today, the stream is probably going to be a little shorter than usual. And my GoPro is not working, so we're 1 aquarium down. But there's still 2 you can look at, and then my beautiful face. Last time I was on stream Wednesday for art, I was working on this waterfall. I looked at it afterwards and I felt like there was almost too much rock going on. So I think I'm just gonna continue roughing in the waterfall. I think this is a schnitzel scribble that's gonna take a little more time because I want to put some work into the background quite a bit, because basically the whole reason the family's going on a camping trip is to do this hike and see this waterfall. This is a real place that we have been here in Alaska. The waterfall may or may not look quite like this, but it was in the woods, and it was pretty neat. I'm zoomed way in. There we go. And the idea for this was that the water would be cascading down these rocks in the mountain. But I almost feel like maybe I have too many rocks. So I'm gonna downplay them a little bit here. Because I'd like to see more water, less rock face. There are people, you know, us standing in the foreground. So some of the waterfall will be obscured. But because I might move the family's location around a little bit, I wanted to fill it out for the most part. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a good Friday. It is Friday. There is a big garage sale event going on this weekend. It's an annual event for one of the big neighborhoods nearby, and I'm excited about it because my daughter's been saving up money, so we're gonna go take her down Watch Streak. Oh, thank you for the 3 Watch Streak. Oh yeah, no, the weather is, yeah, you guys have had hail and I have to say my head kind of hurts today, and it might be the pressure change. I don't know. But I hope you get to feeling better, Rahara. I'll give you a shout out, so even if you're not here, people can go check out Rahara. She does crafts. You have a necklace, no, bracelet commission right now. So congratulations on that commission. I hope it goes well, and I hope you get to feeling better. I know that you were feeling bad earlier this week, too. The weather has not been kind to you. I realized that I'm on an overlay layer here, so the colors are coming out a little differently than expected, but that's okay, because I'm going to make another layer, probably. Just going to make a bunch of layers for this waterfall, I think. I will have to pick up my daughter from school in almost exactly an hour, so I'll have to keep an eye on the clock. I've been, you know, originally I was going to try to do 1 o'clock, but that hasn't really worked out. A ribbon and lace choker is what Rahara is working on for, ooh. And I want to see photos of that later. Actually, she posted some photos, if I get my Discord to work, of some stuff. Let's see here. Here's an example of Rahara's work. You can see the amount of detail here and just the wire work that she does, linking all of these together. That takes some patience. Here's another example of those links she puts together. Oh, so very similar to the one you've already had. Yeah, so these are examples of some of the work she's done, and that was a commission, and I think I just closed it all. But hopefully you guys got it. It's in our Discord. And Rahara, if you want to post your Ko-Fi or whatever links you want in the chat, go right ahead. Rahara is a mod here on this channel and the Aquarius AK channel, so definitely worth showing some support for her. Even if she was not a mod, she does great work. The details for it are well beyond my skills making jewelry. Yeah, I hope you get to feeling better. Here we go, a little less rock, more waterfall. This is an overlay layer I'm working on, which means up here there's normal, and I've got it set to this, which gives it a slightly different effect when you're coloring over other colors. Among other things, I'm probably not being technical enough for some people about exactly what it does, but I like using it. I'm so glad it's Friday. It seems like it's been a long, well, month of work. Finally out of April, which is usually my busiest time. Though we're only one day out of April, so it's not like magically better. But maybe seeing the light at the end of the tunnel work-wise for the amount of stuff coming into our office. Overlay also gives a nice color variation because I'm using the same two colors as I am on the other layers, but you can see it does a slightly different color effect. My GoPro is still trying to connect up. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I accidentally unplugged it the other day. Yesterday, I guess it was, because I was cleaning out the Tetra Tank aquarium where the GoPro is set up. And it got unplugged, but I plugged it back in. Okay. Just taking a look at what I've got so far. Eventually I'm gonna have to move off the waterfall into other things. Like the river below it. Okay, I should probably stop working on the waterfall and maybe try the stuff below, like the creek. I'm going to turn off the family in the sketch so I could focus on the background. I'll probably come back to the waterfall and add some white to kind of highlight things. Oops, nope. There we go. Trying to turn off the GoPro now. It did get stuck the other day too. And it says it's live, but I don't think it is. There we go. Alright, let's work. So I'm gonna put everything that I just did into a folder called Waterfall. And then under that, I'm going to put in another folder called... Maybe. I'm adding layers instead of folders. Hold on. There we go. Called River. Add a layer there. And then we're gonna go with bigger... Work bigger to smaller, so I'll put some more kind of shadow in here underneath the waterfall. And eventually we can work on some reflections and stuff. But of course, right under a waterfall, you're gonna get less reflection because of the turbulence. And it's gonna go down and over here. And then it'll be obscured by trees on this side. Make a little pool over here. River, rough layer. Now let's put another layer in and get a little more detailed with it. I might actually use the blur tool a little bit there. There we go. And then we'll do the next layer. There are the shrimp. They're eating now. Found their food. I wanted to change this a little bit since I'm making it. I had to go back to a different layer, make a correction there. We plan to go to a cabin this weekend, but not if there's gonna be like 40-mile-per-hour winds, because we have to hike a few miles to get there. We haven't even got our camp. We just put our ski gear away for the winter. We skied up until like, maybe 3 weeks ago. And now we're into well, it's supposed, I don't know, spring. Usually by this time our bees are able to go out. We have some leaves, maybe making a start. But it has been kind of cold and rainy so far this spring. And so I thought, oh, May, I'll go ahead and start booking a few cabins for us to go to. But unfortunately, you know, when you're hiking and backpacking with a 5-year-old out to a cabin, if the weather's no good, then you're just sitting inside this, well, this one's a yurt, with a 5-year-old, and sure, you can have some fun with cards and things, but it'll be hard to get her motivated to go out if she's getting wind blown around while trying to carry a little pack. So I'm really hopeful that the weather will improve. Don't know if you guys have any plans for the weekends. Or the weekend. Hopefully the weather's better wherever you guys are. I know for Rahara, who was just here and is lurking now, it hasn't had the best weather. Had some hail, I think, earlier this week. We had a weird weather day earlier this week, too, come to think of it. Driving into town, it rained, it hailed, it flurried, and was sunny. All in like a half-hour drive. With not much rhyme or reason. It's not especially promising weather for camping or going garage sailing, which was one of the things we were going to do before we go out. We have another tank of yellow shrimp in my daughter's room that she's been caring for, and they were breeding well enough for her to sell some. And so she did, and it was great. There was so much demand that we actually had to, you know, say no to some people who wanted to buy some because they needed more time to reproduce. But she's taking that money as her garage sale money for this summer, so I think it's great. I know she's really excited. I think she'll be after stuffed animals. I know that she's a big fan of stuffed animals right now. There are a lot of stuffed animals in this house. And yesterday she talked me into getting her a watermelon pillow and an avocado pillow from Costco. And they are cute, and they're on our couch, and they're fun to hug and sit with. Did we need a strawberry, a lemon, an orange, an avocado, and a watermelon? Not really. I picked out a couple for the couch, but she added to. Well, she said she's gonna put some on her bed, but they're not on her bed. Cause she's got that giant bunny that I showed off on Wednesday on her bed. Which I whacked her with to wake her up this morning, as did my husband. It was fun. She thought it was really funny. Okay, so we've got kind of our river going now. So you can see how that overlay kind of did something there. Versus the normal. So I'm debating what to do. Oops. around a little bit with it. That's kind of an interesting look, so I'll run with that. Gonna make another layer called River Detail 2 and just continue doing what I did with the waterfall. Right now with the same two colors, then I'll add white and a darker blue. And I'm making a little eddy here. It may or may not work. It's been a while since I've worked in this style. Oh, I should go smaller. That was one of the things I was going to do, is make a smaller brush. So I was on 15, now I'm on size 12. Sorry, I've got other stuff on my other screen, so this, you know, I'm looking over here at my art screen. I used to have a camera on it, and I did actually find one of my old webcams that I thought, oh, I used to have it maybe pointed at my Wacom. You guys will have to let me know, I mean, if you end up watching this VOD later, you know, in my Discord or something, whether or not you want to see the camera pointed at the Wacom again. I had it like that a couple of years ago. The river looks really narrow over here, but the assumption is that this rock ledge in the foreground here is kind of sticking out and covering up, so you'd have a bigger pool here, but you're looking down at it. I may have gone a little wide over here, but I might be filling in rocks or something. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this, because I know there's going to be trees in front of this. So I want to add just enough detail to kind of, you know, imply that the river is moving, you know, going on. At what speed, I'm not sure. It would be the same river. I did another schnitzel scribble where we're fishing in a river, And I think this might be in feed that river. I'm thinking geographically of the area that I'm drawing here, because I am basing it on a real place. Alaska has many beautiful places like this. A lot of places in the world do. I play up Alaska because I live here. But, you know. It's nice to be able to hike to waterfalls. You only have to drive. Gosh, I can think of a waterfall that I can hike to. That's about... I can think of several waterfalls that are with half an hour of here. And not necessarily driving, just hiking. There is one I think it would probably take 20 minutes to drive to and another 20 minutes to hike to. There's another one that would take about 20 minutes to drive to and another, 30, 40 minutes to hike to, depending on how fast you're going. Which is pretty great when you think about it. I'm not super happy with the way this part of the river looks. But I am happy with what's going on over here. So overall, I guess it's looking alright. So I feel Alaska is a very expensive place to live. Especially with gas prices right now. I think when I was out this morning, the gas station, one of the gas stations in town was $5.54 a gallon. The gas station that I normally go to that is more affordable is $4.89 a gallon. Milk costs more. Everything seems to cost more. But as hard as that is, and it can really add up, like the cost of our internet, the cost of our groceries, the cost of gas, the wear and tear on our vehicles because they put gravel down on the roads and in icy conditions and stuff. We all have cracked windshields because of the gravel they put down on the roads during the winter to provide traction, and then the gravel, hits the windshields. But that's besides the point. The point I'm trying to make is that it is an expensive and sometimes frustrating place to live, but not everywhere can you be in a place where you can go 20 minutes in just about any direction and find a hike to a beautiful place. Where I live, there are hikes all over the place. And they're all nearby. So, if I weren't lazy or tired at the end of the day, I could say, hey, let's take the dog on a walk, and then just drive up the road to do it. But with the cost of gas, I'd probably just walk the dog around the neighborhood, which is also pretty. So I like living here. We're working on building a house, which is one of the reasons why we've been very, very, expense aware, the cost of increased internet for streaming the aquarium, the cost of increased electricity for running the heaters and stuff and lights for the aquarium, the cost of having the computer and the cameras on for the aquarium, thinking about all those costs, along with, can this be successful and fun for us without costing too much? And it is hard, when prices are going up. But then, would we live somewhere else? I mean, if we were forced to, but otherwise, we're trying to build a home here. And so that's one of the main reasons we're really trying to be aware of where our spending is, because, building anywhere is not really cheap. But especially here in Alaska, because everything has to be shipped in. I guess it can be, there are other places in the United States like Hawaii and stuff where it's hard to get stuff shipped in. But when you think about the gas prices going up, then that means goods that are being shipped to Alaska, which is almost everything, also adds up. So it's a little scary for us right now because we want to build our home and we've got plans in the works. We're working on the lot. We're working with an architect. And then we think, are we going to be able to do this? And I guess I'm just thinking aloud. And a lot of people, we're not the only ones facing challenges, and not just here in Alaska, but all over. All right, I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm playing with layer opacity here. Just adding some blue to the background here to help drive the colors along. That was my cuckoo clock, and I should have a reminder going off on my phone here soon that I'll have to head out to get my daughter from school. I know I talk about it every stream, but it's the main, I take a lunch break, and then I go off to pick up my daughter, and then sometimes I do more work in the evenings. I guess that's why I seem tired a lot. But I just have to make sure that I don't get too carried away with my art projects or chatting or troubleshooting, as I have been a lot today with technology, and get there on time to pick her up. And there's where we are right now. It's looking nice for this style of art that I'm going for. Trying to decide what to do next. I kind of have this sketch here. But I don't think I wanted that to be a rock, even though I've kind of started shaping that area as a rock. That's because I'm going to remove that through here. There is a rock there, is what I sketched, but I think I'm going to take it out. Have more bubbly stuff going on. I'm glad I get to do some relaxing, like, waterfall, river work. I feel like this is making me feel a little better after a rather stressful week. I might be overworking this area just a little too much. There we go. And then... that looks good. I got some of the rocks kind of covered up. I feel a little better about that. Less rock, more water. Got the river. What else? I could do a little white, I suppose. And I should save. I'm just gonna call it whitewater. My aquarium, my shrimp aquarium is making a lot of noise. I might need to put some more water in it. I mean, the shrimp are happy. It's just the pump sounds extra bubbly today. I think that's looking nice. I don't want to overdo the white either. Man, it's so crazy windy. It's extremely distracting. I keep looking out there like, did I bring everything in? I did a pretty good job bringing things in. And the chickens are pretty well sheltered. But geez. I have to check the weather forecast to see what kind of wind gusts we're getting. I feel like I should maybe get like one of those weather stations, the little like wind measuring thing that you put on the roof of your house. And get one for my dad and my mom where they live to see. It would be interesting to kind of compare. Because I think my husband's parents have one, and they're in a different location. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, they're still in Alaska, but they're on the other side of the mountain range. How things differ. So we're down closer to the valley. My parents are up the mountain a little bit, and then my husband's parents are over the mountain. So it'd be really interesting to see if we all got the weather stations. We could talk about weather. I like talking about weather. I used to have like a weather command on my bot. I don't think it works anymore. I'll try it. Yeah, I don't think it works. I feel like I had to do like an API and a bunch of stuff for it. That was confusing for me. I'm not that tech savvy. And probably someone tech savvy goes, API is easy, but I don't know. It seemed like it only worked part of the time. And I don't know if it was a setup error or the type of bot I was using. It took me a while, but this morning on Aquarius Day K, I could get even the Stream Elements bot to work. Finally got that working. And I put things on it. I don't think the modules are even on this stream, now that I think about it. Oh, I do have the 8-ball enabled. I know, I'm taking my time doing this water and this white down the mountain, but not the mountain. Thinking about mountains and weather. Waterfall. I just try not to overdo it too much. And actually, you know, when you look at waterfall, it's mostly white, but trying to go for a more, I mean, it's not going to be the most realistic picture, obviously. It's like a scribble style picture, which all my schnitzel scribbles are kind of like that. So I like to have, you know, kids like to see color. I like to see color. Lots of colors, even if they're a little unrealistic. I am going to have more white at the bottom where all the water is landing. Alright, I've got 15 minutes. Or I have to go. You can't see the white that I'm putting on over here, but those are supposed to be like the... I'll have to do like a mist type layer with droplets. Sometimes I wish I could do longer art streams like other artists. I'm just not even around usually on the weekends. And during the week I, you know, have my day job. And I have my contract work too that I'm supposed to work on in the evenings. So I feel like I miss out sometimes. On other artists' streams, to be able to stream more like other artists do. But I'm very thankful that I do get this time, at least. And I'm using this time to work on personal projects when the rest of my time is spent, you know, on my job or my contract artwork. So I should be thankful that I'm able to get on it all, really. But I do sometimes envy people who can do longer streams. I am glad that our aquarium stream, I'm able to leave that up longer. We only bought unlimited internet for a couple of months to see how it works. So I'm really trying hard to make the aquarium stream work. And I had this idea, like, I could take the Tetra tank, and when the frog tank goes off at night, have the Tetra tank on like an opposite schedule, and then switch over to that one in the evenings for like an overnight stream. But I'm not sure about doing an overnight stream yet. I mean, it could work. People do it. You have to be careful with like reflections too, because I was on somebody's stream and they're on a different, I guess, time zone than us. So, you know, I tuned in the afternoon to check it out and it was already like nighttime. But the reflection of the aquarium was that of the living room. And you could see the family moving around. And maybe they're aware of it and it doesn't bother them. I think it would bother me. I've got more white down here because of the amount of water activity that's happening. All this water crashing down. And I could eddy over here. The other trouble with this bad weather, now to think about it, is that we really can't go on a hike this afternoon or take the dog out. Because even if my daughter was willing, which I don't think she will be, I don't think my dog is going to like it. Schnitzel is not, you know, he's close to the ground, so maybe he's less of a concern with wind in his, you know, face for us taller people. Because he's a dachshund. But I don't think he appreciates having his beard blown around. Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. I hear him moving around, so I'm talking about him. He's sleeping in his kennel right now. Which is good. He's got to prepare for all the activity for when my daughter gets home. She gives him lots of love and attention. pretty happy with the the way the water is looking. Take some trial and error. I'm still debating whether I go in with a darker blue yet. Might not be necessary. I don't want to make the waterfall so dark that the silhouette of the family in the foreground is challenged. I keep saying the family, it's our family. The story is basically, we are the characters in it. Alright, so we got kind of a rock here. And a rock over here. Lots of bubbles. Oh, I get to go drive in this wind. That'll be fun. I'm gonna have a rock right here. You can't really see it because I didn't color it in, but it'll be there when I'm done. I think that's pretty good. I also think it's a good stopping point. I'm actually kind of tired, I think, because of the long week. But also because, I'm gonna have to, hop in the car and drive in this not-so-great weather. And maybe I'll come up with some cookies or something. I have some Reese's Pieces. I'm not a huge fan of those. I like peanut butter and chocolate. But it's not like the best quality chocolate. So I'm not sure yet, but I was thinking, is there a type of cookie? There's got to be a type of cookie with those in there. I mean, I haven't made them before, so I was going to look up a recipe and see if she wants to make cookies with me. Depends on her energy level, too. She might be kind of tired. Maybe we'll just do a movie night. Alright, then I'm just gonna put like a white outline on the outside of the waterfall, because when I get the trees in, it'll be nice to have that kind of stand out from the background. Oh, I wish I had more time to work on this today. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I'd like to do the rest of the white in the water, but I don't have to wait. So there we are for the waterfall. Let's find someone to raid out to. All right, I'm gonna head out. You guys have a great weekend. Hope the weather's good wherever you're at. And I hope it's a nice relaxing time for you guys, and that today's stream was hopefully relaxing and not too stressful for you guys. I like to try to keep it chill if I can. I know I get excited sometimes. Sometimes I get to thinking about all the challenges that lie ahead, but we all do our best. So, bye guys.